Hello everyone, welcome back. In this video, we are going to continue our conversation about the quadratic equation. In previous video, we checked the first example and we used AM method to help us to figure out the solution. So we are going to continue our conversation for this one. This equation, as you can see, compared to this one here, it seems that something is missing. We only have two terms here, right? So some student might wonder, can I use GCF? Unfortunately, it's not working because the first one has variable, second one doesn't, so it's not going to work. But instead, we can still try the AM method. So how does that work? Since there's nothing in the middle, so the A part becomes 0. And the last constant term is still going to be M, so we are going to look for two numbers. When you multiply them, we get 64. And when you add them, what happens? You get 0. So what are the numbers going to work? Again, you can pause it or just work with me together. So the solution is -8 and 8. Oh, it's -64, sorry. So it's -8 times A gave me -64, and when we add them, of course, 0. So I'm going to break down this as x minus 8, x plus 8. And then we just need to solve these two equations. Because according to zero product property, when we multiply two parts equal to 0, one of them must be 0. And continue, this is 8. And this is -8. Some students probably already figure, it seems that whenever we do not have middle term, these two numbers just need to be opposite, because that way they can cancel out. Actually, your observation is completely correct. However, for this, and also just for this situation, we actually have a special name for that. As you can see, there is a number for 64. 64 is not a regular number. We call this number is perfect square, meaning we can find a two number, multiply themselves to get this number. And this one, we call them difference of perfect square. So what does that mean? That means difference meaning subtract. Perfect square meaning we are subtracting the two perfect square part. Whenever we have this kind of equation, it's always easy to write this form. So for example, I'm solving this one, x squared minus 9 equal to 0. Without using AM method, I know 9 is 3 times 3, so I'm going to easily to break down this as -3 plus 3, and the final solution is going to be 3 or -3. Very straightforward, right? So if you feel like difference of perfect square is very hard for me to memorize, how about I just always use AM method to test it out? You're right, you can always use that. But as you know, we do have a name for this special situation, which is called difference of perfect square. Okay, so let's check the last example in this video. As you can see, we still work on the quadratic equation, but this time, some students probably observe, I don't have 0 for that equation. Yes, you're right. That means we need to get 0 first. How do we do that? I'm going to -3. Some students might say, why don't plus 5 to the other side? Remember, we need to get 0. So you want to deal with the simple part to make it 0 here. So 3 minus 3, 0. -5 minus 3, 8. And again, they're like terms because they're all constant, so we can just put them together. The other two, I just copied it down. Okay, now I have very simple equation to solve. Not really simple, but like the regular quadratic equation we solve. We're going to come back to AM method again. So I'm going to find the two numbers. I'm going to multiply them to get -8. And when we add them, I'm going to get -2. Again, you can always pause here to figure out, do you get solution yet? Or you can just continue the video and watch this with me together. So I know 4 times 2 give me 8. Since it's negative, one of them must be negative. Let's try -4. -4 plus 2, does it add -2? Yes, correct. So we have two solutions. Now I'm going to use this to help me to set up the factoring. So x minus 4, let me change the color. And x plus 2. Remember, this is a positive 2, so that means it's plus. So as we mentioned before, zero product property telling us if we multiply two parts equal to 0, each part can be 0, so which means x minus 4 can be 0 or x plus 2 equal to 0. We just need to solve like a regular way. So this one will be 4, or we minus 2, so the solution will be negative 2. Now we have solution for this equation. See, it's not hard. The only thing we need to pay attention is, do we have 0? No, we don't. We get 0. And next, we're going to see which method we're going to use. Is GCF working or AM method going to be working? Thank you so much for watching this one. I hope these videos, these solutions will help you to understand this type of equations. See you soon, everyone.